Starts to get you, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's got to do as well, because Ali's making the openings because of his good safety.
Thank you, frame 13.
But we saw in the last game, even though he eventually won it, he did have 2 chances to win it. And of course, if he does get to... I mean, you're happy really at this standard to get 1 chance a frame, and you'd be happy with that. Ali's getting more than that this evening.
There's the match time. 4 hours, 10 minutes. Bit thin with that safety. He's had everything this match. He's had the long drawn out frames that we've seen, but and then we've seen some sparkling stuff, I have to say, particularly from Ronnie. I mean, the 141 and the 92 break he made before it this afternoon, well, that was something else. That's a bit pacey as well. Supposed to be finding the baulk cushion. So 5 more frames to be played this evening, and key ones for me. I think Ali has got to stay with Ronnie. You can't let him, for example, go 4 frames clear into the final day tomorrow.
Yes, I would think his aim, John, wouldn't it, these 5 frames? If he wins it 3-2, you know, he's only going to be 1 frame behind going into tomorrow's session. I mean, anything else is a bonus. So what you can't do is lose this session 3-2 and, like you say, open up that little bit of a gap.
Pass on here for Ronnie. He can just swing it and avoid a kiss on the black. Missed the pot, and of course, if you miss the pot by a long way, you don't know where the red you played is going to travel, but it's okay. He's covered it with the green. So that cuts out the straightforward safety. That's a better length. Cover the path to this red. There may be a gap in between the yellow and brown for that red in the other half of the table, but with that cue ball being so close to the baulk cushion, it's not going to be easy. Yeah, okay. Shows you that Ronnie can get through to that red, but as I say, you'd have to really be digging down to get that cue ball back to the baulk cushion. And of course he'll be wary of leaving the red to the left corner, and that's why he's just coming off the side cushion and nestling on the red that's near the top cushion. Just got to avoid the other one. Played it well. Although the double kiss will disappoint him slightly, because there is a possible red to the right middle. And this is where, we'll just see what Ali plays here. This is where it takes a little bit of pressure off Ronnie, doesn't it, with the safety, because he knows unless it's something relatively easy, Ali's not going to go for it.
Well, you could name the players on one hand who won't take this red on in the middle that is refusing. But his game plan has worked reasonably well so far.
Well, it didn't look as though that was going to be the best of the safety shots there, but the flick on the green has helped. Last thing he wanted was to kiss the yellow. This red to the left middle, it looks easy, but it's quite an acute angle. It's not a gimme, this. I know they make them look easy, but believe me, you're going to be so accurate. In fact, he's dropping it in dead weight helps. Yeah, made it look easy.
No need to hit the pink here, just hit the reds to the left of the pink. There's 5 reds in a cluster there. If he gets in the middle one of those 5, that'll just push one to the corner. We did hit that middle one of the 5 after the second kiss, but he just caught the one next to the pink first. He wouldn't have been playing that, but these have opened quite nicely.
Yeah, and in a way, I don't suppose Ronnie will mind that, Wills, because it's opened the pink up.
Seven.
I'm not certain the black will go into the left corner pocket. So maybe only available into the right, but there's plenty of reds to play in, and he can just force an angle off this blue.
Twelve.
He's overrun this.
13.
He doesn't want to finish tight on the cushion. It's just slowed up a little bit. Bit closer to the cushion than he would have liked, but it could have been worse.
There's that fabulous picture from our Jimmy Jib there, from right up in the crowd.
21.
And I don't think Ronnie's got a lot of room for movement down this end. If he just ran through the black, he'd probably snook himself on the red that he wants to get to. So he's looking for an alternative in the middle. Is there a plant there as well? If there's a plant, I know players are going on the plant rather than the one at the outside of the pack.
It looks dead set, doesn't it? Looks unmissable. When they're so close together, though, you've got to hit the first red full in the face. And he's played for the plant. But as I say, you cannot hit the first red half ball. It could swing, push the other one away. But if he hits the first red full in the face, this is unmissable. You see, he's hit it on the left-hand side, and it's pushed the other one to the right because they were so close together.
Yeah, made it a reverse plant, didn't he?
Yep.
He just hit it full, as you can see there, hit it half ball.
And it just pushed it over. Can't believe he was that careless.
Well, these are the kind of chances that Ali has got to take.
One.
Well, he's potted the red, but in making so certain of the pot, he's not ideal on the colour. He's going to play the blue. You expect him to pot it, but there's a little bit of pressure on this. Played it nicely.
Would love to finish high on the black here, so he can play the cannon into the middle of the 3 reds just below the black. Because they're the stumbling block at the minute, those 3 reds behind the black spot. He's got that angle now to play that cannon. He needs to avoid the double kiss, though, if he plays it.
Yeah, he'll be playing the middle one of the 3. Just nestling onto that, but You like to play with a bit more pace to release all two of them. Got to be careful here. Oh, it's so much eye on the cannon. He forgot about the pot.
Does this make sense, John? I think Alicante at the minute is trying not to lose rather than to win, i.e. he's playing everything kind of a little bit negative at the minute.
Yeah, negative and a little bit tentative as well, you know. He's trying to be error-free, and you just get the feeling sometimes when you're playing like that, maybe you're just trying a little bit too hard. But that was a... Well, you miss a black off the spot at this level, you're going to be lucky if you get another chance in the frame.
One.
This is the black off the spot where John and I were discussing hitting it hard and freeing that middle red of the three, and he just played to rest on it there, really, just to nudge it to the... But the other two reds would have still been out of play. So like I say, he's just trying to get what's on sometimes rather than make something happen. I mean, Ronnie's trying to make things happen all the time. OK, that's not worked right this time. But it could have done.
Yeah, he made just...
Eight.
Yeah, there's a bit more freedom of expression in Ronnie's play. And this red does go to the middle, but it's not straightforward by any means. And it looks as though he's got to go around the back of the black to get position. So a good pot, and needs to do a bit with the cue ball here. Well, he's on the black. As I say, it was a tricky pot, and under normal circumstances he'd try to run round the back of the black, but with those two reds near the top cushion, he didn't feel as though that was on. As we can see there, just not touching the black, but just playing the safety shot off the green. So he'll be a little bit disappointed that he didn't make more of that, but he was trying to make things happen. Yeah, he got the snooker, but there's no way he could cover the red on the side. But of course, he's knocked the red over the middle. Now we're just watching Ronnie's shot, and as I say, he'd have normally tried to get round the back of the black, but he was frightened of those two reds. Now Hawkeye, who's the best positional player I've ever seen, he decides to play the gap between it. So that was what Ronnie would like to play, but he was just frightened of playing getting a kiss. So Ronnie now, he can hit a red, but he's trying to nestle on these reds near the top cushion. Is it a bit narrow? Is it a bit narrow? Well, it's a superb hit, but he won't be happy. He won't be happy. He's left Alicante a chance.
This is one of those where Ali would like to play it quite firm to make sure he gets up on the black, but the difficulty of the pot means he'll probably just get on the black half ball the wrong way. We've seen a couple of these missed at pace. The red over the middle pocket helps, because if he gets on the half ball black, he'll still be able to get on that. That's about as best as he could have done, you see, and it's perfect, really.
That's two blacks in this frame he's missed off the spot. Costly.
One.
Didn't have to do much with the cue ball. but overcut it.
Six.
If the angle's on to move the red on the cushion, he'll play to move the red on the cushion, but it wasn't on.
7.
It's 36 points in front, the black 43, so we need one more red and colour, or two to be absolutely certain.
Yeah, he's looking at the
14.
scoreboard. Red and the black would put in 51 points in front with 51 remaining.
15.
The green's in the way to play the normal two-cushion positional shot for the red that's nearest his hand. There you see the green was in the way. He played to go around, just played to miss the green and go two cushions and get onto this red right on this left-hand side. He'll still play the pot.
22.
He'll still play the pot. And the bonus is the green's gone in front of the red to put that out of commission.
Well, good long putt. And that certainly will be the frame clincher. I think of all the things that have impressed me, and there's been so many things in
30.
Ronnie's World Championship campaign, but his long potting has been very
31.
consistent this tournament, which you could say hasn't been as consistent in other tournaments.
Couldn't agree with you more, John. That's one thing that Ronnie had lost, his long game. He always scored as well as ever, always played safe as well as ever. But he was potting
36.
2 in 10 at one stage during the season.
Yeah, and sometimes if your long potting is not happening, then you're just relying on your opponent
Ronnie
missing.
O'Sullivan, 36. And different.
Which Ali Carter did twice. Blacks off the spot. You can't afford to do that at this level. And Ronnie O'Sullivan now once again goes 3 frames ahead. 8-5.
John, what is it like at the end of the first day of this championship in the final here? Because this appears to be almost punch-drunk now from Ali Carter's perspective.
It does look like he's starting to run on empty, doesn't it? 2 blacks off the spot he's missed. I think when you're trying as hard as he is, the petrol can work, you know, can go out the tank fairly quickly, and I think that's what's happening. It's worrying. It's 8-5 coming up now. I think he'd like to share the next 4 frames if he can and leave it at that, because it's definitely looking worrying for him.
But a pressure on every single shot against O'Sullivan, isn't there?
I think that's the problem, is that every single shot that he plays, whether it be a safety shot or a pot when he's in amongst the balls, that's why you see he's taking so much time. And here's a couple of blacks. OK, he's concentrating on his next shot here, but these are straight bread and butter shots for him, straightforward shots. I think the pressure that Ronnie is exerting on him, every pot, every safety shot, you know, and even when he's in amongst the balls, it's pretty simple shots that would normally, you know, that you wouldn't even think twice about. He's concentrating on, and sometimes that will sap your energy as well, because you're concentrating too much instead of just getting on with it, and that's because O'Sullivan is playing so well.
And Steve, how do you regroup in the middle of this second session, though? How difficult is that to do?
Well, that's the hardest thing in the game. He can regroup at the end of the session and then start again anew, but he might be too many frames behind for his liking. Ronnie O'Sullivan puts the heat on players in a big way. The type of form he's in at the moment, he's been putting the heat on many players during the tournament. Only Neil Robertson's been close to him so far, and it does look like it's an inevitable trend in this match that gap's going to get wider in frame scores.
Well, Carter has been so impressive throughout this entire championship with that amazing comeback against Judd Trump. I'm sure many of you will remember he was 9 frames to 12 down, came back to win it, 13-12. So I'm sure if anybody can muster the energy, it's Carter, because he has a bee in his bonnet about trying to win this world title at the second attempt.
Yeah, I can agree with the lads and Hazel in the studio, but I mean, it's not like Carter's not getting chances. I mean, OK, Ronnie's playing well. I agree with the lads that Ronnie can do this to you, but Ali Carter's getting 2 and 3 chances a game. I mean, look at Ronnie's last 4 frames: 49, 68, 30 and 36. Well, at the top level, that doesn't necessarily win the frame. I agree, Ronnie's playing better than Ali, but Ali's still getting the chances. He's just got to start to take them.
I think he just bounced far enough past the ball line to be on the brown. There's a few loose reds to play for. You'd think before he considered trying to bring other reds into play.
I'd ideally like to get on one below the black, but now that is more like it. That's more like, okay, it's gone unlucky, but I was just going to suggest Ronnie would be playing the brown into the pack and rather than for the loose ones.
Five.
Unfortunately for Ali, he's played it this time and got on absolutely nothing apart from one in the baulk pocket. But it's a red that you'd fancy him getting. It's just about straight, and he can stun it for the pink in the middle.
Yeah, not the type of shot he was playing early on in the match. Do you think the game plan may have altered?
I think so, John, yeah. But he's going... Obviously, this red's not as easy as it first looked, so he's playing a safety.
Ali Carter, 5.
Well, it might be a bit short of pace, but it's still a good hit to find the path back to the baulk end. Not putting a lot of pressure on Ali, because he can get his hand on the table.
There's the packed Crucible audience watching this game, and probably like we are, John, wondering whether Ali Carter needs to change his game plan at the moment, because it's suddenly starting to look a little bit tricky for Ali at the moment.
He's got a tough shot on here. Ronnie purposely made him play safe down the right-hand side. It's a bit congested. But he couldn't have played that better. Excellent shot. Well played.
Yeah, I couldn't have been more impressed with Ali's safety play. I mean, his safety play has been superb. I mean, Ronnie's has improved a little bit. Earlier on today, Ronnie's safety play was 3 or 4 points below. As you can see there, they're virtually level now, but the key thing is Ronnie's scoring more.
Final minutes. Ali Carter, 4.
No hesitation, having it put back. Ronnie having to make a very thin contact on this red. Bit of pressure on if he doesn't hit it this time, because of course when you can hit balls and you don't hit them. But that never came into equation. But red's going over the corner. Is the green going to come to his rescue? It has. It has. It's amazing how many times you can just find one of those baulk colours just to cover the potting angle.
That was almost a resigned look, wasn't it? Thinking, well, there you are, he's covered it. But when he came to the table, Ali had a little wry smile. Just trying to rest on it. Got to be careful, it isn't going off. If it's too hard, it might go in off.
Yeah, if he hits the red first, definitely in off. Ooh!
Well, Judge.
There is a red to the right centre, but just get the feeling at the moment that Ronnie's quite happy playing these tactical exchanges. Oh, they'll be a bit disappointed. Just finding the baulk line. Not put any pressure on Ali at all with this shot. And that's the problem. If you don't get a good length, then you expect your opponent to play a better safety shot, but 6 inches short of ideal. Well, if he runs past the yellow, it'll be good, but just flicked it. He's caught it too thick. He's left the red on and nowhere near the baulk cushion. So this is a chance for Ronnie. The only problem is the red's on, but where does the colour come from? Black's not available. Can't play it plain ball because we run into the red on the top cushion. Well, he managed to swing it wide, and I'll tell you what, he's done well to get the cue ball there.
Yes, the pace he played, as John said, if he plays his plain ball, he hits the red. He's played that a little bit firmer, probably trying to flick the black into play, a little bit unlucky, but he has got a pot, of course, on the blue, but it's not straightforward.
Played that nice, but at the moment, only the blue to play for. He's looking to see whether the pink will pass the green, and he's thinking, well, maybe it'd be a good idea to play for the pink and get the pink back down on its spot. Certainly help for break building.
7.
The way he's played that, John, tells us the pink is available.
Yeah, he's overscrewed it slightly though, hasn't he? So much so he had to play the green.
Ten.
He's just overrun that one, so sometimes, you know, well, you're getting the cue through so smooth, you just seem to be over hitting everything. I think that's what's happened to Ronnie the last couple of shots.
11.
He had to call for his great friend Les Dodd from Southport, former professional player. He came down from Southport because Ronnie wanted a new tip on, and he said this is one of the best tips he's ever had. Sometimes you can have 4 or 5 tips on before you get them.
16.
You know, so you know how they're throwing off and things like that. And
17.
Ronnie seems to be playing every shot at the minute virtually to the inch. Well, he's running out of reds now, so I think this time he'll play for the blue to smash into
22.
those 4 reds that are around the black spot area. With a bit of luck, he could actually push the black on as well. Doesn't quite have the perfect angle to do that.
No, I'll be disappointed. He may just have a slight angle on the blue, but he wanted more of an angle than this. Well, he's just got a slight angle. You have to force it, and the problem is when you're forcing it and making the angle, you don't get the pace in the cue ball. Well, he's on a red.
28.
Is he on it in such a way that he can get back up the table for the blue?
Oh, he played the bouncing stun to get up for the blue, and he misjudged it because he caught the other red.
Yeah, because he played it with so much pace, then it just reacted and hit the second red, which he didn't expect. He needed to play that a little bit smoother. But then if he'd have played it smoother, he couldn't have got up the table for the blue. So he's opened these reds up here, and he's only got a 16-point lead. He needs to be careful.
Yes, needs a good safety, doesn't he? That's clever thinking, isn't it? Trying to put the blue and black safe.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 29.
Yeah, if he'd have found the top cushion, then I don't think Ali Carter would have been tempted with this red. He may not be tempted with it now, but well, there's a cut to the left corner. Where's the cue ball going?
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
Well, this is unlucky when you're going off. The pockets are always in the same position on the snooker table. Ronnie just left a slight angle here where he can run back up the table for a baulk colour. Solid pot. He needs to stop this side of the baulk line. Is it going to pull up? Just about. But it's still not obvious. Well, there's a red on the left-hand side of the table. I suppose he can stun behind that if he so wishes. It's not straightforward, though, to get on the next one. Do you think he could risk stunning into the top cushion, trying to get this blue and black into play?
Well, I don't think he can get back up into the baulk, John, if he plays it plain ball, so he may be forced into it. So he's took the bull behind the horns, hoping he'd get on the colour, and the worst possible things happened. He's not on the colour, and he's virtually either going to have to pot one or play an excellent safety shot because the red's right over the hole.
Well, he's got two choices here for me. Play the pot on the yellow, or try and hit the brown and use the yellow as a cover. His pot on the yellow's the choice. Superb! Absolutely superb!
Now this is so close to the pocket, it's very, very tough as we see this shot on the yellow again. He's just wondering whether if he plays it cushion first, could he get on the black? If he plays the top spin, could he get on the black? Because it's going to be very, very tough, unless he plays it very thin, to get past the blue spot here.
Yes, and you can't hit it too thin.
So he's played the banana for the black, and unluckily he's left himself hampered.
Yeah, which takes the black out of the equation. After the pot on the yellow, you thought that could have been the frame winner. It's not so. Just trying to play this to see how it swung back. A little bit more top spin and maybe hit the red a little bit fuller to get the full effect of what we call the banana shot. I don't think he'll be taking a pot on
Yellow
here.
ball.
Just be safety.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 8.
Well, it never rains, but it pours sometimes at
Ronnie
this game,
O'Sullivan,
John,
7.
and that's now pouring.
Yep, it's becoming a downpour. I suppose the only upside, well, there isn't much of an upside, I don't suppose, but this isn't a tough pot that Ronnie has to take on here, and I feel he has to take it on. I don't think you can risk trying to play safe, and the problem is, if you take the pot on, you could run into the black and those two reds, and if the pot doesn't go in, you've sort of opened up the frame for your opponent, but I don't really see the safety. So I think you've got to fully commit to the pot here. He's giving it a bit of thought. He's got a 35-point lead.
Probably the fact that the yellow's safe may be the deciding factor on whether he's going to play the pot, and he's decided to let Ali have a go at it.
Well, he didn't fancy the safety and he doesn't fancy the pot, but, well, I wouldn't be surprised if Ali Carter played the pot. Not one little bit.
Come round to look at the potting angle. I think because you know you're going to kiss the two reds and the black, play it at a pace where you feel confident. Don't try and play it at a pace to make it a difficult pot. Try and play it at a steady pace. Where's the middle? Where's the red going? Not near enough to go in. This frame is now virtually over.
Absolutely. I agree with you, but Ali at the moment is just, well, as we say, not in a good place. He's suffering out there. Missed a couple of blacks off the spot in the last frame. They hurt you when you know you've missed opportunities like that. So just this red and a
6.
colour needed for Ronnie. Could have left this red a little easier. Not expecting to miss it, of course.
Played with a lot of check side, John, didn't he, on the last colour, but he's potted the red nicely.
7.
Yeah, he put a little bit too much check side on it, didn't he, when he played the blue, but he had a quick glance at the scoreboard. This blue took a 47 points in front with just 43 remaining. Where's the cue ball going?
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 12. And different.
No, Ali Carter's not going to bother with the two snookers, so, yeah, looking a bit dejected in his seat, it appears to me, but Ronnie O'Sullivan won't mind. He's 4 frames clear now, 9-5.
And we're going to get a chance, John, as both players are staying with us. It's amazing. What we don't notice on real live television sometimes is how the balls bounce. We've got a little sequence. We've got a little sequence of shots here that whenever you cue down on a ball, we always talk about how the white lifts off the table. There's one, and you'll see it every time here. Even there, just when you're cueing down on the ball. Now it's amazing. Sometimes at real pace, we can't see that happening.
Yeah, and I've always said this, that sometimes when the ball's bouncing, it could just be coming down when it hits the red or the colour, and then all of a sudden we call it a heavy contact, it's a kick. Is it static? It's just that the balls aren't staying on the bed of the table for me.
And now we've got a special one with the black and white ball, as it were. Just what happens here, purposely playing to make this happen. You see, look, it's virtually all the way to hitting the blue and still potted the blue. And the blue's bouncing because it hasn't landed on the apex of the blue, hasn't it? Amazing, isn't it? Real good series of shots, that.
Settle down now, thank you.
It's now becoming very, very worrying times for Ali Carter. There are 3 more frames this evening. Ali's got to stay close. He's got to win 2 of them if he can.
over the corner. Not covered. It's not right in the jaw, so you've got to be pretty accurate with this. But he's got a slight angle. You see, it's not right over the corner pocket. You've got to be pretty accurate with this. Well, he hits it superbly, but just couldn't get enough backspin. In fact, he probably hit it full if he'd had just been able to just use the side cushion after potting the red. You look here. Just didn't get enough of the cushion. But it was a great effort to get on the black. The black was available.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 1.
Well, there's a red to the right corner, but it's the type of red that Ali's been refusing all match, and you just get the feeling that Ronnie's not frightened to leave in these type of reds because he knows he's not going to go for them. Just takes so much pressure off you. He's caught that much too thick.
Well, that was a little bit careless. Plenty of room there to make sure he avoided the blue. Now, if Ali can reach this one he can go for, because it doesn't appear that he can leave anything on. Just put his little extension on and just done it on and off the cushion. It will leave a 3/4 ball black. And at first glance, I'm just looking at the reds. The only one he can leave on is the one he's going for. So this should take the pressure off the pot.
I don't think there's any pot now at the moment for Ali that hasn't got a bit of pressure on. Well, he played it nicely. And now, well, he knows he's got to make the most of this chance. He's got to score.
This is highest break this evening is in the first frame that he won this evening, a break of 56. That's how much he's been kept off the table and
8.
how much he hasn't scored this evening. You always have a bad session sometimes at the Crucible, but if you do have that bad session, try and win as
9.
many frames as possible. You can't afford to lose the session 6-2, or in this case 7-2, with it being 9 frames this evening.
Yes, it's changed slightly this year. We used to best of 35. The first 3 sessions were sessions of 8 frames, and then the, well, possible 11 in the final session, but this year we've changed it slightly. So we did an 8 this afternoon, the first session, 9 this evening,
16.
and then tomorrow afternoon there'll be an 8 and then a possible 10 to finish off the match.
17.
We've got a slight angle on the black, but I'm still not certain where the next red comes from here. No, I don't know where it comes from. He's played a cannon on the left-hand side of the 2 reds that were together.
24.
And if he'd have got it, obviously the right-hand one would have been available to the right corner, but nowhere near the cannon.
Ali Carter 24.
Well, believe it or not, he tried to get that cue ball behind the blue. It's not happening out there. He's going through a very bad patch at the moment, is Ali. Well, I thought he may be tempted for the red down the right-hand side. Looks as though it was a pot he could have taken on, but good safety. He's not going to offer any easy chances to Ali Carter if he can help it. And Ali just can't find that baulk cushion at the moment, not consistently anyway.
He's found it all day, hasn't he, apart from the last couple of frames. All of a sudden his head's gone down. He's certainly not playing good safety. And that at the moment is his biggest weapon, good safety. He can't lose that, otherwise the match will slip away very quickly. Played as a shot to nothing. I don't think the red's come high enough up the table to cut in.
He's having a look to see at the cut. It's a thin one, and the cue ball will be running up and down the table, but I think it does cut. Yeah, it cuts that. As I say, it was a thin one, the cue ball running loose.
1.
He could have hoped for better than a difficult green. Will he take it on?
It's amazing, isn't it? If it's a fraction harder, he's up for the black, and he's finished in the only position where, when you're not playing well, all you need is one of these, where you've got a cue down on a just off straight ball, and we just showed you a few shots where the balls are bouncing. Just keep an eye on this white. Brilliant shot, well played. Having been kept off the table for quite some time, that was an excellent pot on the green, albeit he hasn't really got as close to the red as he would like, but the key thing was, that'll give him a bit of confidence, he's potted that green. Well, a bit of aggression in the last two shots. Maybe he's going to try and get the frustration out by just potting a few. It's sometimes nice to let your arm go. He's played the last 3 or 4 shots really hard just to get his arm moving again, and I don't think that's a bad thing at this moment in time.
12.
A bit of rhythm back.
Yeah, we all know when you get a bit tense that you can get a bit snatchy and quit on the shots. Last few shots smack hard into the back of the pocket.
The
problem is for Ali here that there's not that many reds available, although I've just said that, and maybe the red just to the right of the pink will go to the right corner. It does, so that makes this positional shot a little bit easier off the yellow.
Well, if this red pots, that's definitely a
15.
bonus, because he played for the one that John suggested there, just didn't get the stun on the cue ball, hence the cue ball ran loose. This red does pot.
Yeah, looks like he's finished absolutely inch perfect on it. Look at that. And the possibility of running this through and just opening those 2 reds that are together.
16.
But of course, when you need just things to go right, you can bet your life they're going to go slightly wrong. He doesn't have to do much with the cue ball, just roll the black in, but boy, this is awkward bridging. Over 2 balls.
Well played. Now, did he nudge those 2 reds enough to make one of them pop? We just watch this again.
23.
Yes, no contact on the 2 reds. Luckily he played it slow because it hit the top jaw. Now the first one will pass this other red, so he can just play nicely for the green or brown. Doesn't have to do anything but just play plain ball, maybe with a little bit of left-hand side. I decided to play off 2 cushions, which is the same result.
24.
Now Ali Carter, this is a chance just to get a little foothold in the match again now.
Yeah, all he requires is 1 good positional shot. There's enough reds in the open. He's got a 47-point lead. This to make it 50. Just 1 good positional shot.
27.
Well, I don't think this is the ready play to be on. Can he hold for the black? He could, but he
28.
held it probably just a fraction too much. And there we are, zooming in. You can look over his shoulder at this black. A little bit thinner than he would have liked, but he may be able to hold for that red, just this side of the pink. Right in the heart of the pocket, and that red's on.
Remember, John, that was a black he missed on the previous game when he was cutting one back into the corner. He gritted his teeth there and made sure he potted that one.
36.
Yeah, every credit to him. He's shown a lot of determination here, hasn't he?
Just as long as he pots the pink, he knows that he's going to win the frame now, so he can just relax a little bit. And I think that was key, John. The first 3 or 4 shots, he played them all very, very firm. Just get a bit of rhythm going again. Now, whether he did that deliberately, I don't know, or whether it was out of frustration.
43.
Interested to see what the boys think in the studio, but I think sometimes you've got to do that. You know, just shake yourself out. You know, just get going again. Must have got very tight in there for a while. I mean, looking at the scoreboard now, it's 9-6, and
50.
Could Ali have won another 2 frames this evening? The chances he's had, he definitely could.
$51. $58.
Well, he made a 56 in winning frame 9. This is his highest break since then.
59.
And the highest break of the night so far. He made 84 this afternoon.
Well, the black hasn't gone in, but this time missing a black off the spot won't be costly. Showed a lot of character there, did Ali Carter. He's back to 3 frames behind, trailing 9-6.
Well, John's right. That's been the hallmark of his championship, showing lots and lots of character. There's been a few observations as we've been sitting here chatting, watching that frame, particularly about pace and the pace at which Ali's playing, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's just me. We were chatting, and it sort of seemed to be a general consensus of opinion that we hadn't really noticed that it seems as if Ali's perhaps playing fractionally slower than he would normally, perhaps when he's amongst the balls most of the time. But it may be just a perception of the fact that he's struggling because he's got lots of difficult shots to play. But he's not flowing out there, and perhaps he's just trying that fraction too hard. Very easy to sit here and say that because there's many times your head gets scrambled, and John, you know full well it's like the shot times can change, can't they?
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I agree entirely with Steve. I think it's one of those. It's great to play the match play, good to play the safety, great to, you've got to put a lot of concentration in. But Ali Carter's a very fluent scorer. When that chance comes and he's in the balls, he's got to play more of his natural game at his natural pace.
All right, well, to back it up, we've been looking at some of the results of the timings of each shot. 27 seconds average shot time in this match, in this final for Ali Carter. Average in the championship, 25 seconds. Ronnie, 21 in this match. 18 average throughout the championship.
Yeah, I mean, and I haven't seen enough of Ali Carter play recently. He should do, but to know exactly what his shot time would be during the whole season. And he's had some tough matches to play, so that might add to it. But that's fairly slow for a player who's supposed to be in form. So perhaps he's just trying a fraction too hard. If he can get free of a few of the shackles and all of a sudden knock a few more balls in, get his shot time a bit down and actually get flowing a bit more, it might help him. But of course he's in a bit of a hole, so it's a problem.
And he's hanging on in there. You've got to salute him for that.
Yes.
3 frames down now.
3 frames down, 2 to go this evening. The best possible result is obviously 9-8. Can we see that happening? The way he played the last game, yes. The way he's played the rest of the evening, no. I think he'd be pretty pleased to win at least one of them. Because if that's your bad session and you can come out 10-7, that's not as bad as it could have been.
Well, Ronnie thinks he can find a gap here between the green and blue. Not much of one, is there? Well, we'd be glad that he could get that gap. Just not finding that ball cushion again there, Alec. Just makes it that much easier for Ronnie to play a better safety. And there's a nice target behind the green here. And just the wrong side of the green, and a kiss on the green to stop the cue ball going tight against the cushion. We had a look there to see if there's a possibility here. Would you believe it, a 5-ball plant? Obviously didn't think it was on. Oh, a little bump on the middle pocket is handy, I'll tell you. But for the bump on the middle pocket, that wouldn't have been a stroker.
Just trying to rest on the 3 reds below the pink. One thing that Ronnie's had today on this table is the pace. His pace has been superb.
Yeah, that was beautifully judged, wasn't it? Because the pace he got out of that, he had to play the swerve to get to the cushion, and it was at the side he put on it that created the speed to get down to the reds. That was excellent.
Unless Ali gets the long rest out, this safety shot's not straightforward. We'll just play a little tap into them. Ronnie might get the spider out here, John, just to get enough height on it, and then play with a lot of side, come inside the blue. Well, he can do it without that. He'll be trying to get in behind the yellow here. Tight on the cushion. Maybe a little fraction hard, is it? No, it's okay.
Yeah, maybe he just caught the red a fraction thicker than he would have liked. But of course he had to avoid the red on the right-hand side cushion. There's a pot on here, but is there a gap to get the cue ball back to baulk? He thinks not. He's playing safe off this red. Got to catch it just right, though. And he did. Good shot. Dreaded kiss on the brown. Now there's a big target there, isn't there? Green and brown, that's what Ronnie will be thinking, can I get behind them? Not quite the line, so now he'll be looking for tight against the cushion and not quite achieved that. So maybe a chance for Ali to get control of this safety exchange. Is it in or is it over? It's in.
Ronnie had actually left his seat, John, as it has stayed right on the edge. He got out of his seat, took one pace, and it went in.
Yep.
Ali Carter 1.
Yeah, it's a bit like when you see at golf when a ball hangs on the lip. Was there 1, 2, 3? When did they replace it? Is it 5?
No, I think it's until the player gets to the table. So you can. There's a lot more time because obviously the player has to get to the table. If he doesn't drop him before he gets there, I think it has to be replaced. But once he's at the table, it would have to be replaced. The fact that he only just left his seat, it was okay. But he's missed this escape.
Is
Is there a plan to into the corner?
I think there may be a gap for a red.
Well, we'll show you in a second. Is there a gap there? I think there is, John. Well spotted. You haven't lost the commentator's eye.
1.
We say it's all about fractions. It's all. This has all come about seconds, really, isn't it? When that red stayed there in the jaws, but just dropped. If it hadn't have done, of course, this could have been Ronnie at the table now. A little scratch of the head there from Ali.
7.
Does that mean he's not come? Well, it does. He's not screwed back far enough. Amazing.
Well, it's a schoolboy error, John, isn't it? It was perfect on the pink. I mean, he'd got a foot he could screw back in. Because he was so frustrated, he hasn't really played
Ali
well.
Carter 7.
He played behind the green, not to kiss the green. But the shot on the pink, he had another foot he could have played in. And like I said, if he'd get out of this session, only 3 behind, look at the space he had, another foot. Well, he's got to be a bit careful here, because it's not beyond the realms of possibilities. He played a wonderful shot. But Ali Carter could win this frame, and the next, to be only 9-8.
Well, what a shot that was. But Ronnie's right look at the table, and we're just wondering if there's a possibility of a plant on here. There's a distance between the two. It could definitely be made. It'll have to be made. I don't think it's spot on. And the problem is, when you're playing it, you're going to be running into other reds. So if you're going to play it, be certain, because he's not certain to be on a colour. Well, I say not certain to be on the colour. Is he on the black? Does the black go?
It certainly does. It certainly does. No, he's overcut a couple of these tonight. Just checking whether the black will go back onto its own spot, I think. I think it possibly will. could have made all the difference, and we were looking at a possibility of getting out of this session 9-8 even. And he'd have forgot all about this session being a bad one. Now he has to hope that Ronnie doesn't win the frame at this visit.
1.
Just wide, wasn't it? It was one of them, a little less pace. It may just have gone in, but you can't afford to miss blacks off the spot. He's missed too many of those this evening. I think the black spot isn't available. Black will go on the pink spot.
8.
Ali just has to sit there and suffer.
Nine.
I mean, at this level, you can't gift anyone chances, but the way Ronnie O'Sullivan's been queuing, then it's a
16.
recipe for losing the frame, no doubt.
Yes, it certainly hasn't
70.
been vintage Ronnie tonight. It quite clearly hasn't been vintage for Carter, but Ronnie has got a chance now to open up a lead of a possible 5 frames.
24. 25.
And you can consider this has been probably Ronnie's worst session, certainly of this match. He hasn't played well this evening, but he's got a chance of winning at 6-3. One more frame to go after this, of course.
Yeah, I wouldn't exactly say he's not played well. I think he's queued very well. I think
32.
some of the frames have gone a little bit scrappy. And sometimes the balls can
33.
dictate how a frame pans out. But yeah, I mean, obviously when your opponent's missing blacks off the spots, it certainly helps, doesn't it?
Well, we can think of 4 blacks that Ali's missed at
40.
least, which could equate to 4 frames.
Well, I think 3 of them were in the same
41.
frame, Willie, so just make it 1 frame, eh?
Just puts the frame beyond
48.
doubt so quickly, doesn't he? He's already at 48 in just over 2.5 minutes. All up kicked. You heard him sigh
49.
there. It took all the pace out of the cue ball. Luckily, it's come high enough on the black to make the black, you know, hardly missable.
Yep. Doesn't have to do a lot with the black. Just got to be careful, make certain he pots it. He'll pot the black. He'll go 43 points in front, 67 remaining, so he's still looking for 2 more reds. 1 with a colour.
This will possibly play for the pink now. Just looking at the scoreboard.
56.
It's 43 in front, so pink would help. Doesn't matter. Play a hold for the blue as well. Whichever he fancies. Hold for the blue.
57.
Yeah. So after the blue, he's still going to need a red and a colour.
62.
Quite certain about that shot. A stern look at the scoreboard. Sees he's 49 points in front, but there's still 59 remaining.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 62.
Yeah, it'd be a little bit disappointing. I think he was trying to do a little bit too much with that blue, to be honest with you. I think he could have rolled it in and maybe, all right, not left the red as easy as he wanted, but trying to stun it and find that angle. Okay, if he just runs past the red, would have been saying what a great shot it was, but maybe there was a easier solution to the problem. Ali there went for a pot that he's never even looked at during this match so far. And maybe he's got away with it. It's a thin cut. But Ronnie may take it on. It's one of those, you see, you just think, if I hit it as thin as I possibly can, I get the pot. Of course, if you hit it thick, you don't. So Ollie Carter comes to the table, checking the scoreboard. He's got plenty of points to play with. 49 points behind, 59 remaining. But if he clears up from here, this will go down as one of the great crucible clearances, this one, because the balls are not nicely placed at all.
1.
Yes, we've already seen one of those today, haven't we? The break of 92 O'Sullivan made. And the 7th frame of the afternoon session was out of this world. Wouldn't have gone in any harder, would it? This is a nice angle now to get into the black. Look how wide that could have, well, was.
6.
Just must finish high in this black, can't afford to finish low. Needs that to bounce a little bit, that's a little bit too high. He's just lost his timing, John, hasn't he?
Yeah, overhitting, underhitting. He's struggling. Thought that last frame might have given him a little bit of confidence, but losing it as he did. Well, I say losing it, he did win it, but in this frame, missing the black off the spot,
14.
it's just sort of putting himself under pressure a little bit again. It was always impossible to envisage anybody trying to win that frame, but he's finished with a good safety. Gets to his seat, 35 points behind, still 43 remaining.
This looks to be an excellent safety shot from Ronnie. As we always say, when they're on the cushion, it's so easy to hit these slightly too thick, which means the red will come back up to the middle of the table. Thin as you like, and he's got a very good chance of getting a snooker here. Brought the red up, luckily not near a pocket though. Oh, he's surely not gone behind the brown, has he? When you consider he played behind the yellow, that would have been a bit of a fluke, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Ronnie can't get to the red on the left-hand side of the table, so having to play safe off this one. That's a shot. Well, if you snookered Ali Carter on both the reds, that's an amazing shot. But I think he may just be able to get through to hit the red, but that was a terrific shot from Ronnie. Just get through to hit it. And because he could get through to hit it, decided it was an opportunity to bring the brown into play. The only problem with that is Ronnie, I'm sure, will take this red on, because the red will put him 36 points in front with 35 remaining. Good cueing needed, of course. Well, how about that when you don't need a bit of luck? Has he snookered Ali on both reds? I think he may have done. Boy, it's a cruel game, this is.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that red was going right over the corner, wasn't it, until it kissed the brown. I'm not too sure this is an easy pot in the middle.
Don't fancy the double? Need the red for the frame? Well, he's looking at the potting angle. It's a thin one to me. I'd fancy the double. I'd rather the double than the cut.
Yeah, at least the double, you can leave the white tight on the cushion, can't you, as a shot to nothing.
Yep.
Whereas the cut, the white's running free, so I tend to agree with you, but let's just see what he's going to do.
Well, decided to play safe. And even if Howie knocks in this very difficult red, there's the green on the baulk cushion, the blues now on the side cushion. So difficult. But he's given himself a chance with an excellent pot. He's on the pink.
And that's one of the hardest balls he's potted all night, and he's refused a dozen of those into the opposite pockets, you know, when the reds are about. His back was against the wall there, and he couldn't have played it better.
And this red is no gimme along the top cushion there, you see it. 28 behind, 35 remaining. Any colour off this red will do. And I don't blame him for refusing that, because that was tricky.
Alicato 7.
But has he covered the potting angle? Can Ronnie get past it? I mean, if he can't pot it, he can certainly. It's quite easy to come off the top cushion. Michaela having a good look. And if he can get past the yellow, we'll play the pot. As I say, if not, just hit the top cushion and kick the red up the table. I don't think he can pot this. No, cushion first. That's all he could do. Doesn't want to bring the green into play, though. Ooh, he has slightly. That's not what he wanted.
Yes, that makes the blue the only difficult ball now, doesn't it? Because green to brown is no problem now. So good safety shot, and Ali's still got a foothold in this frame. Needs that red to travel. Needs that red to travel, and it hasn't. This is frame ball. Well, that was the first sign of nervousness there. Ronnie kind of cued across that, decelerated, as it were. Played to hit it obviously a lot thicker than that. And a little bit of unwanted side just took the white wide of its intended path.
This could be a challenge safety. And not only is it a challenge safety, it's a snooker to boot. And rapturous applause from this packed audience here at the Crucible. And Ali with the age-old problem. It's not hitting this red. Can he get it safe? Now put that line in. As you can see, it's running through the brown, so he's going to have to swerve to try and get to that point below the middle pocket. If he can't, boy, this is a difficult snooker. Well, he's trying to come twice across. He doesn't think he can swerve to get to the point that I'm alluding to, so not certain to hit this. Not certain to hit this. And it's not that easy a shot for Ronnie, so I'm certain he'll have it replaced. So now 32 behind, 35 remaining. If he doesn't hit it this time, he'll need a snooker. Ronnie's having a close look because...
Is that right?
Yeah.
Ronnie?
Well, he's going twice across again. If he doesn't hit it, he'll need a snooker.
Oh, unlucky.
Foul.
Unlucky.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
So whatever happens now this evening, you'd expect Ronnie to be at least 3 frames in front. And going into tomorrow's final 2 sessions. There's 1 more frame to play, remember. There's 9 being played this evening. There's a chance if he plays the correct weight here, he could just get him behind the brown off the left-hand side cushion. And how's the weight? How's the weight? Oh, not quite.
Ali, I think, can just get through to clip this red, but he can't play the same shot he played before unless he swerves it a lot. Well, he's tried it, but that was difficult because he had to swerve to make that angle. Ronnie having a look at the potting angle on the red. He knows if he pots it, Ali will concede.
Can't really play the white in behind the black off 1 cushion here because he's got to hit it too thin. If he does that, he'll career into the black and pink with the red, so he's got to be a bit careful if he plays up and down. Yeah, there's no way he could get in behind the black, he just had to play a containing safety shot there. Ronnie won't be playing the easy safety shot, which is red onto yellow, because he didn't want to bring that yellow into play. Trying to get him behind the brown. This would be a bit of a shot. Goodness me, he's only got it. He's only got it, the little tinker. I mean, to hold a cue ball at that pace from distance, I can't tell you how hard that shot is.
Foul.
Ali Carter decides that's enough, so O'Sullivan had a nice break of 62, which was the catalyst to go further clear. He now goes 4 in front at 10-6.
Well, earlier in that frame, Carter had his chances, of course, and he missed that black earlier on, Stephen. Now, I would ask one of you to demonstrate, but there were no takers. What was the degree of difficulty in this shot?
Well, obviously, when you're cutting back a black like that, it's probably easy to pot the ball if all you've got to do is pot the ball. But the cue ball would have gone down the table, he wouldn't have been on a red. So in trying to keep position, that made the pot how much more difficult? Twice as hard? It's hard to say, but that's the difficult bit about demonstrating.
That shot was into a blind pocket, which we all agreed was very difficult to demonstrate.
And
it did make it really difficult to do. I mean, just having to put the screw on the ball just to hold it there made it so much harder. And under the circumstances, he knew if he gets it, it's a brilliant chance for him, but if he misses it, there's a very good chance he'll lose the frame.
Even if it wasn't into a blind pocket, it'd be still difficult to demonstrate.
Right, okay. I'm going to make you do this tomorrow.
The reason is if you play a plain ball shot, it's sometimes easier to not put any accidental side on. The moment you start digging down on the ball, sometimes it becomes more difficult. You put a bit of side on and you miss the pot, and all for trying to get the position.
Well, it's academic now, obviously, Ronnie with that 4-frame advantage. But the guys were saying that they maybe detected 1 or 2 nerves from Ronnie. Did you detect them too, Ken?
Just a few. Probably pots, but it is getting late into the night. But this frame is massive regards to Ali Carter. I feel he must win this because 5 frames of a lead to give Ronnie O'Sullivan going into the final 2 sessions is huge.
Last one of the evening, last one of the day.
Yes, I think Ken Doherty there hit the nail on the head. This is a big, big frame for Ali Carter. If he's going to take any positives out of this evening's play, to go 5 behind, it will really hurt. And that's the worst possible start. Poor safety. He had a little bit of a result, bit of good fortune. You don't usually get it when you need it most. Well, he did. Ronnie didn't think he could hit enough of that red and tried to bend it with a tracer left-hand side and just bent it too much. He didn't think he could hit enough of it. Hit too much.
Oh, can he get round the back of the back? Plain ball here. What he could have done. So why did he not just play for the black? I don't want to get a chance to show you that again, John. What do you think? I mean, it looks like the angle of this cue. He could have just played with just a little bit of right-hand side and just played around the back of the black.
Yep. But
missed a trick there for me.
As we say, it's always easier from the commentary box. We don't miss many shots up here, but at the moment, the game isn't looking simple to Ali. It's looking decidedly difficult. We've all been there.
Green ball. Ali Carter 1.
Excellent pot.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 1.
Purposely covering the right-hand side cushion up to try and make it a little bit more difficult. But Ali can just rest on the red that's nearest the pocket. This frame is just a must from me for Ali Carter. It's going to be tough from 11-6, from 10-7. Still well in the game. 11-6. Hard to see him winning from there.
Yes, 18, of course, is the target. To be champion of the world. That's a better length from Ronnie. Don't know whether Ali can get through to the potting angle of this red. Oh, maybe he can. It's a thin one. He's got to hit it thin. Well played. Just a fraction
1.
more on the safety shot from Ronnie. That shot wasn't on. Terrific pot, but he's not pleased with where the cue ball's finished. Close to the cushion, tough blue, very difficult black. Well, the way he's pointing near the ball cushion, he's thinking of playing safe. He doesn't want this green to go in the
Ali
middle.
Carter 1.
Wow. Pretty good. He's just asking a question here of Ronnie. He's got to hit this safety shot a bit thicker than he would have liked, really, because he can't hit it thin, the chance of kissing the green, so he's got to hit it thick so he can get round the back of the black. Well, in the end, didn't think he could risk it, so decided to play the snooker. Wonderful. The imagination that went into that shot without hardly thinking, and as I've said before, I used to say it about Alex Higgins all the time, a snooker brain, born with it.
It was nice to see that little tap on the table, because I'm sure when Ali was sitting in his chair, he never even considered it could be snooker behind the black at his next visit. Okay. It's a relatively easy escape, unless he's left the red in the middle. As he came to the chair, head shaking there, he thought, how on earth has he played that so well? But he's played a decent containing shot. He can't, I don't think, get behind a colour from here. Yeah, so he's got a slight chance of playing the aggressive safety.
This cue ball's close to the pocket, you know. Oh.
Somebody in the audience said, good shot, Ronnie, and Ali had a little glare out of the corner of his eye. I can remember you doing that, John, all the time.
Yeah, I could glare. You could do a head shake. He thought the only red he could leave was the one he was playing, and I think that's exactly what's happened. Don't blame Ali for going for that, because he thought, if it goes in, I'm bound to be on the green. I think when Ronnie cuts this in, he's going to run into the black, but as I say, the green being near the middle pocket, is he going to turn it down?
If he stuns it in to miss the black, John, he could go in off in the green pocket. He's got to be a little bit careful here. Refused it, yeah, refused it.
Well, okay, refuse it, but don't kiss the brown. You won't be pleased with that. Chance here for Ali Carter. Get through to this red to the left corner. Big frame for him. Is he on the green? I'll suggest he is. Always look at the body language of a player. He didn't look too disappointed, so he must be able to get through to it.
Yes, and he can hold for the one to the right of the pink, can't he, by just screwing back 3 or 4 inches. Needs to get onto the pink with an angle to open these reds up. Because the blue, it's no good playing for the blue, because the pink is well off its spot, which makes the blue into the pack very difficult. His play for the blue, which cuts the cannon out. Where does he find his next red from?
Yes, when the pink is touching the reds, you just run into the pink. The pink being separated as it is acting as a little bit of a blocker. Well, that's not what he intended, but
10.
he's had a little bit of a result. Don't get me wrong, this red is tricky, but he's finished straight on it, so he's just going to roll it in to be on the black. Lucky to have it.
Oh, a good shot that was. Just rolling it in plain ball means you'll just drift by the red that's on the cushion. As long as it's not straight, this will be okay.
Looks straight enough, doesn't it?
18.
Looks straight enough to me.
I think this is one of those, John, where you can run through and catch the jaws and come out for the black. I think screwing back with side is going to make this pot very difficult. But it's just actually off straight, so you can screw back.
Ali Carter, 18.
Might have been in the Willie Thorne Snooker Centre, Leicester, but not here at the Crucible Theatre, Sheffield. And having the red come back and kiss off the black, he's a little bit fortunate that cue ball has finished so close to the cushion, because if Ronnie's straight, you can't see how he can get on a colour. Well, that was the problem. Couldn't do a lot with the cue ball.
1.
So if he can... Well, I was thinking if he could see enough of the yellow, but he's just
Black.
bringing the... sliding off the black.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 1.
Played that a little bit casually, in all honesty. Well, I'm just getting the feeling at the moment that this game plan is being torn up by the shots. I think Ali at the moment now is deciding that it's a big frame and maybe I've got to try and make things happen. It's always a dangerous line between defence and attack at the best of times. Oh, that red looks as though it just went, but too tight for Ronnie's liking.
Touch and go.
Here we are with this marvellous shot as we drift in. Ronnie just takes advantage of the touching ball. As long as he gets that cue ball tight against the cushion. All that Ali can really do is just roll into them again. When we had a look at this red previous, it looked as though it went past the brown, Ronnie didn't play it, I assume, because he was... There you go, it does go. And I think he didn't play it last time because he was tight against the cushion and didn't fancy getting position, but he'll take it on now, surely. Well, he still didn't fancy it.
If the red hand to stop near the blue, Ali Carter could play this with a little bit of confidence, but can't play it where the red's finished, next to the blue.
Strange choice, though, from Ronnie when that red had just passed the brown. It looked as though, you know, it could have been a pot that could have set the frame up for him.
Yeah, Ronnie's probably realising this is a massive frame, being the last frame of the evening. It's either 3 frames or 5, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got to bear that in mind, absolutely. And he's probably also getting the feeling that Ali's going to push the boat out, and he's probably never had that feeling in the match so far. You know, he feels a couple of good safeties, and Ali might be tempted by a long one.
Use that red to speed up.
He's covered it. He's got to be careful when he's playing this, Ronnie. He avoids a kiss on the black. And we played it the other way. Is he nestling behind the brown? Not quite. Yeah, good shot. The double kiss has spoilt it. He's left this red on for Ali Carter.
Ronnie's so disappointed to have just got that little thin kiss there. And when he was so disappointed, he smiled, going off towards the table, and he actually, funny enough, looked at his shoe as if to say he was a bit unlucky there, but I don't think he was unlucky. Now, surely can he get the green into the bunch? I mean, the black's of no value. Yellow into the bunch is a big target as well.
Yeah, that's the line he'll be looking for. Just caught the pink first, but he's not done any damage to the position. He's on a red. That's all he was hoping for.
Three. 4.
As I say, he'd preferred not to have flicked the pink, but it didn't spoil it. Now he's going to play the pink. He's pretty good with the rest, is Ali. Now, where does the pink go? Does it go on its own spot? And if it does, is it available? It's in the open. And now Ali Carter with a 28-point lead. Well, he's not one to the side cushion. After the colour, he's going to need 3 of these remaining reds. 2 of them are easy.
Yeah, I just wondered, John, whether he's put that red on the pink spot, which means the pink will go on to the black spot. It's straightforward if the pink goes on the black spot. Obviously, it's probably not. The pink must spot. And if he was sure the pink wouldn't go on its own spot, he just stuns the pink in for that red.
Oh, and it does, and because it does, it's now tied up.
17.
And it's also tied up the red as well, so it's not straightforward anymore.
Well, Ali Carter and his team
18.
should take a lot of solace out of this if he can come out of this session 5-4, because boy, he's done nothing this evening really. If he escapes 5-4, he must feel like he's won the session. Made break of 56 in frame 9 and
23.
59 in frame 15, and they're the only 2 breaks over 50 he's had. And to win 4 frames against an O'Sullivan that's actually in form is a pretty good performance.
Ali Carter, 23.
Not only has he missed the red has run across the table and brought the other red, which was close to pink, into play. So one good pot from Ronnie, and he's right back in this frame. And it goes now. Needs a good kiss on the green, you feel. He's not got it.
1.
But he's just about on the black, you would imagine, but bit of work to do. Well, maybe the red that's just to the right of the pink will go to the left middle, same pocket as the black, funnily enough. Ooh, it's the pace that kept that one out.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 1.
So 40 points behind. As we see that black. But as Ali Carter comes to the table, I'll reverse the situation. 40 points ahead, 51 remaining. He's looking for this red and one more colour to win this vital final frame. What a fluke that is, and it's a frame winner, I feel. That now puts him 48 points in front with 43 remaining, and if he doubles this red, Ronnie will shake hands and say, see you tomorrow afternoon for the 3rd session. In it goes, so tell him fluke. But he needs a bit of luck at the moment. He's had a rough night, but as you say, Willie, to only lose it by the odd frame, as he's not played his best. Hang on, we're waiting. This blue's in. This blue's in. No, it's not.
9.
Anyway, they'll shake hands. I would think Ronnie would be a little bit disappointed to have lost that frame. Ali Carter is taking whatever he can get at the moment. He'll go into the 3rd session tomorrow afternoon. 3 frames behind, but it could have been worse. 10-7, O'Sullivan.
Carter still in this. Ronnie will sleep on that 3-frame cushion overnight, and I wonder how comfortably he'll sleep knowing this man has certainly not given up the chase as Ali walks back to his dressing room. And he'll be back to Team Carter. I wonder what Peter Ebdon's verdict on all of this will be. But, you know, it's been a long day. It's been hard to maintain the concentration levels. It's been mentally draining indeed, and that's just us watching it. How would you sum up this opening day? Really tough, hard match-play snooker that we've seen, John.
You've just done it.
Sorry about that.
Tough, hard match-play snooker. I think it's one of those scorelines that both players will be reasonably happy with. O'Sullivan will be happy to be 3 frames clear, and it could have been a lot worse for Ali Carter. So there's a bit in it for both of them. And there's plenty more to play for tomorrow, but I think it's ended at the right time as well. The 2 of them are running a little bit on empty there. They need to have a good night's sleep and come back tomorrow and start again. And you've got to say Ali Carter did deserve that piece of luck in the last frame.
I think so. I mean, there's a few frames there where he was very unlucky, and okay, he had a free shot here on the red, missed it into the yellow. Probably, you know, over the course of this session this evening, you would have to say he probably deserved that fluke. And three frames in it, I'm sure he's delighted, because that was a must frame. I felt if he lost that frame, got 5 frames behind, the match was almost over. But he's back in it. He's showed a lot of great qualities, a lot of you know, instinct qualities to stick in there, even when he's not playing well. And he was totally out of sorts this evening, and a lot of times during that match. But he's managed to still close the gap, and he's still in it for tomorrow.
Well, there's the stats there, and you know, I've got some more stats to throw at you, particularly Steve here, because this is only the second year that we've played this format on the opening day of 8 frames and 9 frames. But when we look back at the greatest comebacks after day 1 deficits, Steve, we've got 3 good ones here. Overnight deficits of 6 frames to 9, 1992, Hendry against White, 2000, Williams against Stevens, and 2005, Murphy against Stevens. And that was the biggest overnight deficits. 6-10 it was overnight for those ones. But what sort of chances do you give Ali Carter at 3 frames behind here?
Well, he's kept himself in contention. He's lost the first 2 sessions, and he's looked like on the brink of being totally outplayed at times, but Ronnie hasn't completely put him to bed. So therefore, what Ali Carter's done, he's put himself into a situation where if the game does change in any way, shape or form, if Ali can up a few gears somewhere along the way, and then Ronnie dropped down a fraction, Ali's ready. He's not too far behind. So I think all you can say from Ali Carter's perspective is he's given himself a chance should the equation of the match change.
What about the tactics? We talked about the strategic game that Ali was going to play here, and I think it's been, well, a bit of hit and miss at times, really, but overall, has it worked?
Yeah, I think it's worked in patches, but I mean, Ronnie has showed flashes of brilliance, but by no means has he played top form in this match so far. And equally Ali, I mean, as Willie said in commentary, he is getting chances, he's just not scoring enough. I mean, tactically he's been pretty sound. I mean, his safety has been excellent throughout this championship. But when he's getting chances, I think he's creating chances from his safety play, he's just not scoring enough. And John Parr said it today many times, that when you do get chances against the likes of O'Sullivan and even Hendry at his best, you have to make the most of them. You have to really put him under pressure and win frames in one visit. And he's just not doing that. He's just not firing on all cylinders when he's creating those chances.
I think that the one thing that we always talk about on this opening day of the final is always how much the championship has taken out of you. And it is a long, long haul. It's a marathon event, this one. At what point do you really start to feel under pressure with fatigue, John?
It may very well come a little bit later on it, but it's certainly there today. I think the last session, the last 3 or 4 frames tonight, both players were looking like they could do with a good night's sleep. You're quite right. I mean, it's a long old haul. It's a long haul now because players are so much better than they used to be overall. I mean, there was great players in the past, no doubt about it, but it's just every round now has got great players in it, and there's nothing easy. Even your 10-3s and 10-4s, you have to work hard to win them. So sometimes they can run out of petrol a bit quicker.
Have you detected signs of fatigue this evening in the players, Steve?
Well, I always feel that Ronnie O'Sullivan is one of the players who doesn't seem to really sort of get in that situation, because he doesn't really get bogged down too much in that tactical stuff. But it's been hard snooker today. Both their shot times have been up. Ali Carter isn't that far away from playing brilliant. He just needs a bit of help from Ronnie O'Sullivan. There is the possibility, as John said earlier, that once Ronnie's tested, he just moves up another gear, and that he could possibly coast in this tournament, in this final, and just get over the line just by doing enough. And that, at the moment, seems like what he's doing.
We have seen some amazing...
I was just going to say, I don't think Ronnie will be very, very happy, even though he's got a 3-frame lead. I don't think Ronnie will be totally happy with his performance today. He'll think he's missed a trick there tonight. He could have been a bigger gap going into tomorrow. So I don't think he'll be over the moon going to bed tonight either.
Well, we have seen some absolutely amazing moments of brilliance, as you pointed out. We've seen that 1-4-1 from Ronnie, and that incredible clearance in that frame 7 of 92 when Willie Thorne thought he could only make a 20. So it's certainly been of great interest to us all here. Thank you very much, guys, for sharing it with us today. It's been a fascinating opening, few exchanges here. Now, Bank Holiday Monday tomorrow. It's not made for DIY. Forget the shelving, forget the gardening, spend it with us. It's session 3 beginning at 2:30 in the afternoon. I hope we'll catch you at some point. In the meantime, from us all here. Bye-bye.